Starting Be'ezras Hashem Siman Samach Vav of Vayoel Moshe Maamar Shevuos, and we're starting a new subject now. V'hinei hanigrarim acharei hatzionim, the religious people that are followers of the Zionists, oimrim oid, they say another argument in their favor. Shema sheboim harbe anashim le'Eretz Yisrael, that when a lot of people come to Eretz Yisrael, the oiskim b'netiyah, and they plant umisrabim aperis, and there are a lot of fruits. Al zeh omer b'Gemara. This is what the Gemara says in Sanhedrin Daf Tzaddik Ches. Ein l'cha kates megula mizeh.
Oh yeah, this is a common proof that now that as Jews are there, they're blooming, and they even bring Mark Twain down, who says that he saw how desolate Eretz Yisrael was.
Exactly. Okay, so let's see this Gemara inside before we go right there. Just let's take a look at the Gemara, page 1, Sanhedrin Tzaddik Ches Amud Aleph. It says v'omer Rab Abba. There's no more revealed end than this. Shenemar v'atem harei Yisrael. You mountains of Israel, anpechem titenu, give your branches, uprichem tisu, and bear your fruits, le'ami Yisrael, to my people Yisrael. Okay, that's the Gemara. Okay, so v'zeh shtus pehevel gomer. The Rebbe says this is a complete foolishness. Deloy mi baya lefir shasheni shebamar shah. He says, not only according to the second shot in the Marsha. Now for this, take a look at the Marsha. Page 2. On this Gemara in Sanhedrin. Ein l'cha kates megula mizeh, shenemar v'yatem har Yisrael, lefi, zak the Marsha, lefi shekol zman she'en Yisrael al masam, as long as the Jews don't return to their land, ein ha'aretz noistenes peiroseha, the land does not give fruit, kedarka, normally, avol keshet, when it starts giving its fruit again, that's a clear proof that the end is coming. It's going to happen before the Jews come back. There's going to be fruits, and then they're going to come back. It's going to be a sign that they're coming back soon. So this already, you can see that this is not what the Zionists are saying.
Wait,
they're saying
go first,
right, exactly. They're saying that we're going to go back and plant fruit, and that's going to bring the Geula closer.
No, they'll grow first.
Okay, it's a Siman. We're trying to show a Siman that Hashem is going to bring the Geula. What's the Siman? That the land starts giving fruit.
Even before Jews are there.
Yeah. Okay. The Oid Yesh Lefarish. The Marsha says another pshat. Kamasha Kasav V'Perek Bama Malikin. The La'asi Dilanas Hamoitzin Peres B'Chol Yoim. It says in Shabbos that the trees will give fruit every day. Shenemar V'Nasa Anaf V'Yasa Peri. V'Goymer. Ma Anaf B'Chol Yoim. Just like a branch grows every day. Af Pri B'Chol Yoim. Chen Yesh Lidraish B'Hai Kra An B'Chem Titenu U'Prichem Tisu. Fruits, the branches and the fruits. Ma Anaf B'Chol Yoim Af Pri B'Chol Yoim Tisu L'Ami Yisrael. B'Zeh Yeh Bizman. That's a nace, right? If the trees start producing fruit every day, that's a nace. Bizman Shekar V'Lo Bizman L'Gula. B'Zeh Davar Nisi, it's a miraculous thing. Vaday Kates Megulahu, that's for sure a sign of the end. Marsha, okay? So it's up the Rebbe, not only the Pirush Hasheni should be Marsha, that according to this second miraculous explanation, Shakavana Shiyah Kamasha Kasav Perek Bama Malikin, the La'asti Dilanis Moitzi in Paris B'Chol Yoim, V'Zeh Vaday Havi Nes Gomer, that's for sure a miracle. The Shinoi Atev, that's against nature. Ve'en L'cha Kates Megulahu Mizeh, if that happens, yeah, that's a clear sign. Even according to the Marsha's first shot, that it will come out, the pairs will come out regular. Interesting, he doesn't say what I said, that it's going to happen before the Jews come. But he says that it's still not arrived because it has to be more than just regular fruit that you find in the rest of the world.
Of course, all these fruits are full-fledged regular fruit that the dates there like they grow anywhere else. There's nothing special about them.
He says, in the ancient times, Eretz Yisrael gave Meshunadika big fruits. He says, Ksubastaf Kufy's base, the Chazi Rabbi Yeshua ben Levi Lahai Ketufi. Rabbi Yeshua ben Levi was walking in Eretz Yisrael and he saw a vine with grapes on it, with a cluster of grapes. The kaimi ki igli, they look like calves. They look like like animals, big, very big. V'amar agalim bein akfanim. He said there are calves among the vines. V'amru sham, and they said other things there. Just take a look at the Marksuas first. Kufi base says this story here that Rabbi Yeshua ben Levi Ikla leGavla. He came to a place called Gavla. Chazanu v'hani ketufi dahavu kaimi ki igli. He saw the clusters that were the size of the calves. Amar agalim akfanim. Amru le. They said back to him, ketufi ninu. They're just clusters of grapes.
Yeah.
So Omar, so he said to the land, Eretz, Eretz, Hachnisi Peirosaich. Pull in your fruits. Stop giving fruits.
Why?
Lemiyat moitzia Peirosaich. To whom are you giving fruits now? La'aravim halalu, to these Arabs, Sha'amdu aleinu, who took our place, B'chatuseinu, through our sins. Okay, and because of this tefillah, the land stopped giving fruits. Stop giving these big fruits.
The Tshrenim might use it as an argument, but he said because of our sins. That's what they won't like.
Yeah. Okay,
because of our sins, that's what Tshrenim won't like to hear.
Right. Okay, so then, Ikla, next year, Reb Chia came down. It says Reb Chia came to the same place. Chazanu dahavu kaimi ki. He saw they were a little smaller than calves. Now they became like goats. So Amar Izim ben Akfanim, he says, look at these goats that are by the vines. So Amrulei Zil, he said, get out of here. Don't do the same thing that your friend did to us. Last year with his tefillah, he made them smaller. Now you're making them even smaller. Quick, get out of here before you say any more tefillahs. Right, that's the Gemara Ksubas. Then he quotes another Gemara here. Eretz Mitzrayim Meshubach Mikol Aratzos. Eretz Mitzrayim is more beautiful than all the lands.
But it's a desert, very beautiful.
Okay, but it was, next to the Nile. There's a nice fertile place, so it's more fertile, more beautiful than any other place.
But not the most fertile. That's impossible because in the deserts you have artificial irrigation, whereas in a not desert you have natural rain.
Right.
That's a very hard thing to say.
Anyway, but it's a Gemara in Ksubas Kufi base. But Sayan also brought Rashi.
It's the most desirable land. You mean, or what is the Gemara say again?
Meshubach. It's
praiseworthy.
This is a Rashi in Parshas Shalach Lecha.
Really?
Yeah. By Kagan Hashem.
It's just hard to believe that a desert would be so praiseworthy.
Chevron Sheva Shanim Nim Nisal Livnei Tzayan Mitzrayim. Pasuk says that Chevron was 7 years built before Tzayan Mitzrayim, and he means it was better. 7 times better than Tzayan Mitzrayim. It says V'Am Risham Eretz Mitzrayim Meshubach Mikol Aratzos Sheba'olam, but Tzayan Meshubach Mikol Eretz Mitzrayim. Tzayan was the best part of Mitzrayim. V'Chevron Hagarua Mikol Eretz Yisrael. Chevron, which is the worst part of Eretz Yisrael, is Adif Zayin Pamim Tzayan Mitzrayim. It's 7 times better than Tzayan.
Shouldn't Beersheba be because Beersheba is in the desert?
It should be the worst, right? Maybe there's more rocks in Chevron. It says it was a place with rocks. The Gemara says.
Wait, because rocks will never grow at all. At least sand could possibly grow. I see.
Okay. Ubeis saw ois shivim kurim. One little field that's a base saw, 50 by 50 amas, will make 70.
50 amas?
Yeah. Will make 50. Will make 70 kurim of. That's a large amount of produce. Oid kamen yonim chashvu sham Gemara shali mishunim peret Eretz Yisrael mibechol ha'olam b'oifen nifla. Gemara goes at length to explain that the fruits of Eretz Yisrael were much better.
How was it great at Mitzrayim? How many fruits did it produce?
It doesn't say exactly how much Mitzrayim produced, but it says that in Chevron it produced 70 kurim for one base saw.
So, how much is a kur?
A kur, it's 10 ephah, I think. An ephah is 3 saw. I don't know exactly how the cheshbon.
Right, so that's already a big lot. Yeah.
A mikveh is 40 saw.
Yeah, so 70 kur.
A kur is like maybe the size of a mikveh.
So 70 kur for 70 kur of fruit.
Anyway, so u'kamoisha amru gam ala kasuv beparsha shlach the eshkol nov mecha, that when the meraglim came back, they were holding a cluster of grapes. Shal yipei risel mishuna. That it says that this cluster of grapes was very heavy and they had to carry it with 8 people, I think. So obviously,
because
pears were not
because they were meant for giants to eat and to hold. And the 3 giants saw them. They said, "Why are you doing to our trees?" Because these kind of fruits were for giants to eat.
Right, but when they didn't live there, it also gave that kind of fruit. So it says, if this all returns, can be kedem al derech shekasav Rambam b'soif hilchos malachim. That will be really, really rich at that time. There'll be all the nice foods will be like dust. So zeh siman legeula. That's a sign of the geula. But what if it just grows like the rest of the world? That the more you plant, the more it grows. That doesn't prove anything. Since most of the people, most of the Zionists who plant are not fulfilling the mitzvahs of the land.
They say you don't have to, because the land will forgive you.
Gam loy mitzvah shvis, they don't keep the shvis. So hema bav when they say to Rabbi merachkim esagula, they're prolonging the exile, they're making the gula far away. It would be better if there weren't such fruits. That they transgress the mitzvahs. They defile the land, they push away the end.
Okay. Yeah, because the Heder Mechir is a very popular one.
Now, just to explain this a little more, the Tzionim, they don't just have this Gemara in Sanhedrin Daf Tzaddik Ches that says that the Ein L'chal Ketz Megula Mizeh. They have another proof that they bring, and that is that there's a Ramban in Parshas B'chukoisai. It should be over here on page 4. Take a look. Right, the kids are here. The Ramban says, "V'chein ma she'amar b'kan v'shamru aleha oivechem," that the Torah says in Parashat B'chukoisai that the enemies are going to be desolate in the land during Galus. He b'sura toiva mevaseres b'chol Galius. It's a good tiding for the Jews that in all the exiles that they're in, she'ein artseinu mekabelas es oivenu, that our land will not receive our enemies. V'gamzu raya gedoy levavtacha lanu ki loy timsa b'kol yishuv eretz asher hi toiva urechava. That this is a good sign for us that the Gula is going to come eventually, because we find that there's no land in the whole world that's so nice. That was originally settled. For he chareva kamoy, and now it's destroyed. Now it's desolate. Ever since the Jews left it, it never received any other nation. All the nations are trying to settle it, and they can't do it. Yeah.
Which we learn means that they'll fight for it always, but it doesn't mean that there won't be any food, there will be a famine.
That's the point, because if you look in the Kesef Mishnah, I don't have time to look it up now, but the Kesef Mishnah, Hilchos Trumas, Perek Aleph, Halacha Yud Aleph, he says there that there was a whole machlokes about Peres Akum. During Galus, if the Goyim own land in Eretz Yisrael, do you have to take Meiser from their fruits? So the Kesef Mishnah holds you don't. The Mabit holds you do. And it was a whole machlokes. He put them in Cherem. He said you have to follow my shita. The Kesef Mishnah, he said if you take off Meister, you're in Cherem. Basically, you see that the Goyim were growing fruits, and it's known that there were hundreds of villages that were in Eretz Yisrael before the Tzionim came, and they all had land around them, agricultural land that was planted, things were growing. And just to bring one witness, there was a Zionist writer named Achad Ha'am, who was more of a critical Zionist. He came in the year 1891 to Eretz Yisrael.
But there was no Zionism yet. It's 1896 as the movement started.
Yeah, okay, but there was a movement.
Yeah.
And he came to Eretz Yisrael to check it out for himself. He said, I like this idea, but let's see what's really going on. Yeah. He came to Eretz Yisrael and he wrote a letter called The Truth About Eretz Yisrael. And
who wrote this letter? I forget.
Achad Ha'am. That was his pen name. His real name was Asher Ginsburg.
Oh, yeah.
And he was interesting. He was brought up from
The Truth About Eretz Yisrael. So Asher Ginsburg. Okay.
He went off the derech at like age 30. His father was a Skver Chassid.
So maybe he was above the because there was no Tzionim movement yet. That started 1892.
So listen. So he went to Eretz Yisrael in 1891, and he came back and he wrote that almost all the land, is being cultivated already. There's almost no land to buy. He said, people in Europe think you can just go there to Israel, buy up land, wherever you want. Not true. The Arabs are in the land. Every land that's possible to cultivate is already being cultivated. And the only land they're willing to sell you is the rocky mountain land where they can't plant anything anyway. So you see, they were really using all the land already.
So obviously what the Ramban means... You see this letter, right? You see it's about to look up this letter?
It's easy to look it up. Just look up Achad Ha'am on Wikipedia. It brings it down.
Or Asher Ginsburg.
Ginsburg, his real name.
Yeah.
So he criticized the Zionists. Basically, he said, you guys are unrealistic. You think you're going to come here... Right. You're going to come here and just buy the land up, and the Arabs are going to just move out. It's not true. They're not going to move out. They chop what you're doing, and they're going to stop you.
Even Yitzhak Yaakov Rein says it's our job to buy the land.
Right.
So we should conquer, because the Ramban could have meant it. Right. But the Ramban, we have to buy it.
But the point is that was a very naive point of view. That was a point of view by people in Europe who didn't actually see the Metzias. So he went down to Eretz Yisrael. He said, "This is what's happening. The Arabs have all the land, and they're not willing to sell it." It ended up that the Zionists, even by 1947, they only bought up about 5% of the land.
Yeah, then they start to fight for those who want to sell it.
So the Ramban, back to the Ramban in the B'chukoisai, the Ramban doesn't mean that there are not going to be any fruits in the land. He means that no one's going to be able to hold on to it.
Because it's so good, they want it. They want more and more.
And there's going to be fighting over it, and that's why Yerushalayim was conquered over and over again by different.
Even Eretz Yisrael was conquered so many times.
And that's what the Ramban means, that no one could hold on to it. And even in the time of the Tzionim, you see, in 70 years...
They still can't hold it.
They've had 8 wars and two uprisings that go on for
and
years.
Bombings every day.
So
and even the British men, they couldn't hold it. The British men were already going to expire right at the very beginning.
This is the point that the Ramban is making, yeah. Okay, so there's a Sefer Drishas Tzion from Sefer Shalosh, where he brings this Tanya that we're talking about in this Siman. Just take a look quickly. It's on the notes, page 5. It says, Al Kain Boyu v'nischazka b'ad amenu v'ad artzenu. He's telling people chizik that they should go there to Israel and plant things. When the Yasid Chevras Eretz Nosheves, a company to settle the land. Asher koi yischabru rei mahuvim ze yoim el Hashem ani v'yikna kivras eretz. People should buy land. V'zeh yitein yad el Hashem elokeinu l'harim trumas tzedakah. Other people should give tzedakah to support it. Ish k'finid vas liboy v'ruchoy atohara u'lefia bracha asher berchoy Hashem b'roi v'asher, according to how much money you have. V'yitu kramecha, they should plant the vineyards. V'yastu pri l'tzedakah. V'yachziku yad achenu laloi shama, should support the Yidden who go there. Uliyashiv shama ish tachas gafnoi. And the next page now 6. V'tachas teinastoi v'zeh. So everyone should live there under his vine. V'lo yilitein matnas basar b'dam. You shouldn't be nena from like the Meir Baal Nes money and everything, but you should actually work there, make plant things and be nena from your own work. Okay. Tia einenu nesuais rak mesuka shnas ha'oived admas kodesh yeh ve'ayoyshev maram yofia loy bracha adayad. And then he goes on v'hoid karnei ha'yeshua tazriach selavis kaim divrei Chazal. This is the part I wanted to show you. And the words of Chazal should be niskayim umara loy mar kibbutz gali yisachar birkas hashanim. But the same Gemara that was in Sanhedrin Sadik Ches is also in Megillah, and it says, why does the kibbutz gali bracha come after birkas hashanim? T'chsiv yatim hare Israel an peichem titeinu uprichem tisu liyam Israel ki karvu lavai. He brings this same Chazal that give your fruits, and that's a Siman for Geula. Ki karvu lavai. Kain meireish is called nishtad lifal asher ha'eretz hakadosh pirya titein. So let's work that the land should give its fruit. So here, what the fallacy of this argument is like we said last time, like at the beginning of the Siman, that number one, the Gemara could mean a nes, fruits growing like every day, like in Moshe Mashiach, or the Gemara could mean fruits growing the way they did in the times of Bayis Sheni, which the Gemara in Ksuvas Kufi Bey says were very big. But if you're not going to say those things, if you're going to say that, let's say it means natural fruit, then anybody could do that. So then what's the Siman? Elamai, the Siman must be that before the Yidden come back, it will give its fruit. But all the time during Galus, it's been giving fruit. So what exactly more was it giving when the Chodev came? And to go and say, I'm going to go and make it and plant it myself and make it happen, that's a fallacious argument, because you're making it happen. Okay, fine. Now let's go to the next paragraph. Uve medrash eicha b'soif ha'pesicha. In the medrash, at the end of the introduction to eicha, Omar, kama hi chatzufa eretz Yisrael sha'adayin.
said that.
Oh, good.
I'm not sure whether Rabbi bring that Rabbi Zera.
Right, good. Sha'adayin oyster Paris. That Eretz Yisrael has chutzpah, that it still gives Paris. In Bisman Hazeh, that the Goyim are planting it, and it says, so the Gemara says why, or the Medrash says why. Al Shem Shem Zablin, because they fertilize it. Take a look. It's in page 7. Omer Reb Zera, you're right. That it still gives fruit. Why does it give fruit? Rabbi Chanina, Rabbi Shuban Levi, Chad Omer, one of them says Al Shem Shem Zavli Oisa, because they plant it, they fertilize it. The Chavina Omar, maybe the other one says Harina Omar Al Shem Shehem Mahapchim Ba'afra, because they plow the land. Right. So,
which is fully natural.
Natural, right. And the point is that it's a chatzufa because people are doing averis and they're planting it and it's still giving fruit. And that's what the point he's trying to make here, that they're coming back, they're planting it and they're not keeping the hilchos Eretz Yisrael, the halachas, the mitzvahs hatulis ba'aretz, and it still gives its fruit. She'ein HaKadosh Baruch Hu Meshana HaTeva, because HaKadosh Baruch Hu doesn't change the nature. So if you plant, it grows, even though you're doing it wrong. If a person steals wheat and plants it, right? So he shouldn't get any fruit from his labors. He's doing something wrong. So Hashem should make it not grow. He says, but Hashem doesn't do that. He doesn't mix into the world. He lets it go according to the teva. And those fools who sin are going to pay for it. The Gemara continues and it says, Reish Lakish said, Amar HaKadosh Baruch Hu, Lo Ydayan l'Rishayim she'oisin stela sheli pumbei. That the Rishayim means that they take my stela, my coin stamp, and they use it for public purposes, meaning for unauthorized purpose, like counterfeit money. They take my stamp and they make money, and they without authorization, which means it's a mashal for a raya. Someone does an aveir, they're mizana with a lady, and they cause a baby to be born that wasn't supposed to be born, a mamzer. So they make my stela. They're taking my stamp, the stela Elokim that Hashem puts on every child, and they're putting it on without his permission.
It's like counterfeiting money then.
Right. Not only that, but they trouble me, and they make me sign it against my will. That Hashem, because He wants to follow through with nature, He makes the child develop normally and come out, and it's a mamzer. And it's interesting. Rashi in Avodah Zarah, it says, "Pirush Rashi zal sha'ani yoitzer al korchi." That I form the child against my will. That it's a decree, that's a rule that Hashem has for the world. Even Sean, that the world has to continue with its natural course. The Rashi in Avodah Zarah says that he's not sure where the Gemara got this from, but it's interesting. On Chumash, in Parshas Noach, Rashi says that why was the Mabul 40 days? Because the 40 days is the Yetziras Havlad. The baby inside the mother takes 40 days. There was a big affair of nus at the time. There was nus. So Hashem was matriach. The people were matriach him to make mamzerim. So because of that, the mabul was 40 days. So that could be the makar for this. Okay, v'chein hu b'peiros halalu. The same thing is true when people come. They plant fruit, and they do it b'isser. They don't keep the mitzvahs atzulis ba'aretz. Shemetamin es ha'aretz.
Which Tzion don't do. Yeah. They say it's optional. Eretz Yisrael will forgive, but it's Tzli B'aretz.
Okay, Uvatur Chaim Siman Reish Ches, B'Birkas Al HaMichya. Here's an interesting thing. The Torah says, we say in Al HaMichya, V'noichal mipirya v'nispa mituva.
Yeah.
So the Torah says not to say it. The Torah says, Kasav yesh oimrim. Some say, V'noichal mipirya v'nispa mituva. The Ein La'imroi. We shouldn't say it. She'em lachmoy ha'aretz b'shvil pirya v'tuva. We shouldn't want Eretz Yisrael just for its fruit. Because we want to fulfill the mitzvahs. That's what we want Eretz Yisrael for. So why should we say in the bracha that our whole tachlis is?
Why don't we go like the Torah then?
What?
Why don't we go like the Torah?
Because the Bach. Listen. The cost of al zeh Bach v'zel l'shoyna v'tema b'halei kedushas Eretz hanishpa ba mikedushas haaretz al yoyna. He says we're not looking for gashmis here. This bracha is not about gashmis. It's about the ruchnistic kedusha, the holiness that comes into the fruits. It says the kedusha of the land comes from the Eretz Ha'Alyoina, the Eretz Yisrael up in Shemayim. He nishpas gam b'peiros, and it comes into the fruit. Sheyoin ki mikedushas hashchina, that those fruits get their nourishment from the Shechina. Hashechenes b'kervot, which is living in the land. Ki al kain, he's here b'soif parshas Maseh. That's what the Torah says at the end of Maseh. Lo yisat tamei es ha'aretz. That when it talks about Ritzicha, it says don't do Ritzicha because Ritzicha is metamei the land. And Asher Ani, Asher Atem Yoshvim Ba, which you live in, Asher Ani Shoichin B'Secha, because I live in that land. And if you're metameh it, you're driving out the Shechina. V'yomer im tetameh es ha'aretz, nimsheches hatuma gam b'peiros ha'yonkim mimena. And therefore, if you metameh the land, the tumah will go into the fruits too. And then you'll eat the fruits and you'll get that tumah. Ukvar nistalka Shechina mikerev ha'aretz. The the Shechina has left because of the Galus. The Shechina has left Eretz Yisrael. Asher ani shoichem b'soichem mamish begufa aretz. The Shechina that was originally in the land.
Yeah, because the Zionists say that the Shechina is still there, even though there was Galus. It's not changed.
Well,
which is not the case.
In the Beis Hamikdash, it says the Shechina is always going to be there. But he's saying the rest of the land is out.
Right, that's where we're not allowed to go. We're tummy. We're not allowed to go. The Shechina is still there.
Gam anoichi mistalik shechinasi mitoich b'nei Yisrael. I'm going to take my Shechina out from amidst the Jews. Ki ad ata heichal Hashem hema. Until now, during the Beis Hamikdash times, they were like the heichal Hashem, not just the actual temple, but the whole Eretz Yisrael. All the Yidden were like the temple, the whole Hashem.
Really, that's interesting. That's
why b'nei Yisrael lefisha the Bach, yeah. Lefisha Shechina ha'isa shoyra b'kir ba'am mamish. The Shechina was living amongst them, was actually resting on them. But then what happened was the Shechina left the land, and then the Paris got Tuma, and then they ate that Tuma, and then the Shechina went away from them. That when you didn't eat the fruits of the land, the Tuma goes into them, and and on the other, from the other side, the Kedusha is going out, because they can't both be there. So the Tuma comes in, and the Kedusha goes out. So the Bach ends off that's why we say this thing in the bracha.
So we respond that the Hara should go into us, not the Tuma.
Right. So Machnisim we put into this bracha. The bracha zu v'noicham mipiri v'nisma mituva ki b'achilas periseha on yizonim mikdushas hashchina. That by eating the fruit we're going to have nourishment from the Shechina when we taharasa and the cleanness, the purity of it, the nispa mituvasa, and we'll be satisfied with its good. Ad kan l'shoynei hakadosh. That's the Bach. Umavur bazeh. We see from this Bach shal yideo averos metamin asaretz, that by doing averos we pollute the land. V'es peiros out in the fruit itself gets polluted. Shemetamin es Yisrael b'achilosam, and then when you didn't eat from that fruit, they get the tuma. Umisalek hakdusha, it throws out the kedusha from them. That's why we say in the bracha, let's go back and eat from the fruits when Mashiach comes. The fruit should be not just stam fruit, it should be the fruit that will have kedusha from it. And not, God forbid, the opposite. Okay? When someone learns this Bach well, Zal loyis tapikim yesh bazeh siman lagula. He won't have any suffix that when Tzionim come back and they plant the land and they do averis, it's going to be a siman.
Where they tell you that Eretz Yisrael will forgive you if you do averis?
And that's not true. It doesn't say that Eretz Yisrael forgives averis. It just says that shari b'loy avoin means that if you're anyway a tzaddik and you're living there, it helps you. It's mechaper on any small averis you might have, but. It's a Pnei Yeshua and Ksubas about that.
I know, but the argument that there's no such thing as being with Tamei Eretz Yisrael. And so, according to can't become Tamei. But Tavo, the Titmus are
right, exactly. Yirmiyahu base, right?
Yes.
Okay, so that's this Bach. And by the way, it's interesting when Satmar Rebbe went to Eretz Yisrael, he never ate from things that were grown there. As far as I know, I think that he brought everything along with him. Everything they brought from home.
Well.
Oh no, my bracha al derech shehevesi le'el. The bracha that's going to be in the future is al derech shehevesi le'el midivrei hashas that I brought from the Gemara. Now, what he means is in the beginning of the Siman, he brought down that either like the Marsha says, that either the future bracha will be miraculous every day, or at least it will be the same as it was in the old days, like in the Gemara Ksubas Kufiyad base. That's what he means, Divrei Shas. That at the time of the Bayis Sheni, the fruits were gigantic fruits, like the size of animals, like huge, like the Meraglim Meister, where they were carrying the Eshkol with 8 people. Ukamasha Chosef Rambam, Sheyiyah Bisman Biyas HaMashiach. The Rambam also says, and he quoted that near the beginning of the Siman also, the Rambam says that Kol HaMa'adanim Mitzuyim Ka'afar. Rambam, the end of Malachim. All the good things, all the good Gashmistic things are going to be plentiful like the dust. Okay? So, he says that true bracha that the Bach is talking about is only going to happen when Mashiach comes and when the pears are so plentiful like that.